Right, boys and girls, once again, welcome to the Big Guy, Little Guy podcast. We are still in the status of almost back.
We're so almost back.
We are
We're
so
almost
still
there.
almost back. I
We're
I am your host, Riley, the big guy. Here's Andrew, the little guy.
yeah. What a time to be alive right now.
What a fucking
Truly.
time to be alive, Andrew. What's going on, buddy?
All
let's
right.
front load with the channel update because I have life stuff to talk about, but I want to hear about your escapades first with this
All
fucking
right.
computer.
So, I'm supposed to get the computer Wednesday. I think it was the 21st. I was supposed to get it. Amazon keeps saying that it's here, and it's in the city that's right next to mine. So it's really close. It was like 10 minutes away. And then Amazon hits me with we're not going to charge your card yet. We should have charged your card, but we didn't. So my $1,300 Amazon purchase never goes through. But my stuff comes in. I get my monitor. I get the keyboard that I bought. I get a bunch of things from my room because I took out my closet doors the other day. And that all came in. So that was like $300 worth of stuff right there. But the biggest part of the purchase has yet to go through. And Amazon has said that this computer is now unavailable. So that led me to concerns. But then the next
that led
day,
you to DM me about how you're not getting the computer, and I'm just like, what the fuck, man?
I thought I wasn't getting it. Usually when Amazon doesn't charge you for a purchase, it's because you're not getting it. But then the next day, it's like, hey man, we're delivering it at 10 in the morning. 8 hours afterwards. I wasn't even home. I gave up waiting on it. I went to my girlfriend's house because that was more fun than sitting in my room waiting for my computer to come in. And it finally comes in. I messaged my mom to grab the package for me. She does. It's a big ass package. I get home at like 10 o'clock. I bust my finger open trying to get the package into my room because I smashed it between the door fringe or the door hinge. I get it, I open it, I set everything up, the monitor works just fine, the keyboard that I bought works fine, they gave me another keyboard which I wasn't expecting, they gave me a mouse on which I also wasn't expecting, but I guess I'll take it because I didn't have a mouse that I bought. I have a wireless one, but it's not that good.
Didn't you tell me last time we talked about the computer that it was coming with a keyboard?
I don't think we did. I think I said that I bought a keyboard. But that's because I'm weird and maybe autistic, and I don't like how keyboard sounds. So I wanted to buy a silent one. It didn't work. I bought one that makes noise. I'm devastated. So I spend all of my Thursday night setting up the computer. I wake up Friday. I don't go to school that day because there's a hell of amount of snow out, and it's the day before high school spring break, so I might as well not even go anyways.
Fair enough.
I boot my computer, I play one round of Overwatch, it crashes in 5 minutes. I think, okay, that's odd, but I'm gonna ignore that. Maybe it was just like a one-time thing. I try it again, it crashes again, and now I'm banned from Overwatch for 10 hours. Because Overwatch's new thing is that if you leave 2 quick play games, you get banned from playing the game at all for the foreseeable future. Which is terrible for the game. It sucks. Quick play was already practically unplayable. Now it's really unplayable. But that's another topic for another day with Overwatch. So, I make the executive decision. I also had the issue of I couldn't get Premiere, and I messaged Jason about it, and I'm like, hey man, I can't download Premiere. And he's like, you probably have something wrong with your computer, you might need to go get that checked out. So I message a guy.
Oh boy.
So I'm like, damn. I message a guy at IT for Skyblazes, which is where I got my computer, and that guy, he says that he asked me like some about what was going on, what I was doing when it happened. A bunch of bullshit. And I tell him what's going on, and he's like, okay, first, do you have a flash drive? And I'm like, yeah, I do have a flash drive. And he's like, great. You gotta get ready to wipe everything that is on that flash drive and never see it again. And I'm like, damn, fuck. And he sends me a link to a YouTube tutorial on what I should do now for his sake so that he can understand what's going on with my computer because I'm only as smart as no one.
You're only as smart as nobody at all. You're only as smart as the least smart person on the planet. Andrew is away.
Yep. He told me to download this thing and I would run this test, which I thought this test would take at most 30 minutes. It took 2 hours. I went to work midway through it and it wasn't even halfway done. It was like 25% done. So I messaged the guy again. I finally messaged him back later that night, which unfortunately he's no longer available until Monday morning, Californian time. Yippee. But I sent him my results, my two, I think I sent 2 screenshots. No, I sent 3 screenshots of everything because that's what the thingy said, and that's how I found out that my CPU memory drivers, whatever thingy that I think's in the RAM, has issues in 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Really weird group of numbers, but no biggie, no concerns yet. Lots of concerns yet. I can't do anything.
All the concerns, very many concerns actually.
I can't download OBS. I edited one video yesterday. One video using DaVinci's Resolve before I said I can't do this. DaVinci's Resolve sucks. And I threw it in the trash. And I tried to do Premiere again, and that didn't work. And I thought about going back to Clipchamp, but then I'm like, no, that's a terrible idea. Clipchamp fucking sucks.
No more Clipchamp. Clipchamp's banned.
If anything, I think you should be encouraging me to use Clipchamp because Clipchamp's audio thing will not let me just skip through parts of the video just so I can cut out the parts of silence, and I would actually have to watch the whole thing.
Use Clipchamp.
I don't want to use Clipchamp.
You can't just cut out the parts of silence, Andrew. What if we're doing important gameplay when we're silent?
Well, usually I remember by that point. And if it's the Pokemon video, then I have to go through increments in like 15 seconds. So I'll notice if there's something that's supposed to happen. So again, we're hoping that we'll be back by Monday or Tuesday, whatever day at this point. And if not, I will be probably smashing my head in with a rock.
Rest in peace, Andrew. Death by computer bad.
Yeah, because I didn't spend $1,000 just for this to be shit.
Yeah, that's really fucked up, but I'm sorry to hear it. Buying a new computer and having it immediately be fucked is something I'm vaguely familiar with. I'm not to your degree, because mine is very functional. However, what it does do is just sometimes it'll freeze. And sometimes it'll take me 8 attempts to get it to boot properly.
Okay, yeah.
And that's been going on since I bought.
That's insane. I'd be livid. I'm already livid that I can't even frickin' play Overwatch on
Apparently,
the thing
Lenovo
that I bought.
laptops are just fucking garbage, and nobody told me until I bought a Lenovo laptop.
I don't know. I don't think mine was bad, besides the fact that it had no memory in it for, or
Some
not
of them
memory,
are fine.
no
It's
storage.
not obviously they invented this product and they quality tested it, so like some of them are going to work. But Lenovo is infamous for having problems out of the box, from what I'm told, for some users, including myself.
You are some people.
I am the some people.
It's okay. it happens.
But Andrew, I just had a big night. I went and spent a fuck ton of money last night, just way too much, because I decided, so about a month ago, or maybe it was a few weeks ago, um, there's a show called Who Are These Podcasts? It's a comedic podcast show I quite enjoy. But I don't really listen to them that often. I just kind of, and when I do, it's usually like old episodes because they have so many fucking episodes. When I listen to Who Are These Podcasts, I'm usually just looking for like guests I like or podcasts I like they're ripping on. The premise of the show is it's like a roast for podcasts. They bring in other podcasts, they play clips, and they make fun of them. And I hadn't been listening in a while, but then the host of that show, Carl, guested on the Dick Show, and he advertised that they were having a live show in Florida. And I looked into it, and I realized it wouldn't be, without getting too specific about distance, it wouldn't be too terrible of a burden to get there. So I was like, maybe I can go to this. It would be fun. Because I missed out on the live show Dick himself did here a few years ago, because I didn't have an ID to get into the venue. Although apparently, I talked to somebody who went to that at this live show, and they were not checking IDs at the venue. So I'm a little bit pissed. But um, I didn't go because the website said the venue was going to be checking IDs and you had to be 18. And I was 18, but I did not have an ID. So I didn't go. But now I do have an ID, and I'm almost 22. And this live show's happening, so I figured I'd go out for it. And originally, I talked to my friend, and he was like, "Yeah, we could go do that. That'd be cool." But leading up to it, he had to cancel on me because work scheduled him. Which I don't know if I've been tricked or if there was a little bit of a miscommunication. But he told me he couldn't go to the show because he had to work until 8. He left work before I did at 5. So I don't know what happened there. He didn't respond to my text. I'm gonna assume it's just a mix up. He would just tell me if he didn't want to go. But either way, so now I'm like, so he tells me that a week or so ago, and I'm like, shit, I guess I'm not going. But then I was kind of thinking about it leading up to the show, and then the morning of the show came, and there were still plenty of tickets, so it wasn't like the show was sold out or anything. And I was like, you know what? I constantly spend all my fucking money on like DoorDash and bullshit that I don't need, that brings me gratification for about 5 minutes. It would cost me a frankly ludicrous amount of money to Uber to and back from this show.
Yeah.
Frankly, ludicrous amount of money, but I knew it was an experience I'd really cherish. And it just was on my mind the whole time. I knew I really wanted to go, so I decided, fuck it. I'm supposed to fucking delete DoorDash anyway. So who needs to spend all this money on fucking bullshit food that's gonna kill me? I'll just spend the stupid amount of money and go to the show that I want to go to. So I ended up going by myself to this show, and I headed there. Brave new adventure. Ubering to a city I'd never been to before, with a shitty phone that's success rate on ordering Ubers is not 100%. It's so slow and shitty and terrible that sometimes Uber will just crash over and over, and I'll be unable to use it. So there was a non-zero chance that I could have been stranded there.
Oh
But
my god.
although you can do the Uber phone line. They have a phone line. Their phone line was. I would have had to chill in the parking lot an hour after the bar closed because of the phone line's hours. But I would have eventually made it home. But, uh, anyway, so I went down there. I got in there. I watched the show. Great show. Very funny. great guys who are these podcasts. It was a crossover show as well with another show called Revenge of the Sis with Royce and Mersh. And those guys were also fun. I've never seen their show before. I've heard them on other shows before. I'd never seen what Royce looked like. I'd seen Mersh because I watch a lot of shows that make fun of Mersh. But it was crazy to see these like internet characters in real life. It's the first time I've ever like met people who I'd consider celebrities to some degree, and that was a really interesting experience. So we watched the show, and then there was an after party at a local bar. So I went there, and that bar was fucking packed to the gills, Andrew. There were people everywhere.
That's insane.
I was a little bit overwhelmed. I have some level of social anxiety, and I'm at this bar with just crowds and crowds of people, fucking shoulder to shoulder, getting in everybody's way because I'm a fat, fucking stupid fuck. There are like multiple internet celebrities present, and it was very very overwhelming, but very fun. I think I had a very good time overall. I was kind of a little bit loopy. I pre-gamed the show a little bit. I did pick up some the marijuana-based Rice Krispie treats and eat them prior to the show.
Oh my god.
So that was fun. So I was loopy all night, and then I drank at the bar as well. They had Jello shots for $1. I had like 5 of those, and some guy gave me a couple beers, which two and a half beers and 5 Jello shots didn't. It worked, but not as well as you would think it would. I'm
I
so
don't know.
heavyweight. I'm so
Yeah,
heavyweight when it comes to alcohol. It's wild. Like,
I know, Riley. I don't know if you know, but
yeah, when you're fat, I get it. But
yeah,
some fat people get drunk. It happens.
yeah.
But
After they drink like 102 beers.
you had to drink like 102 beers. That's true. Like I'm still. That wasn't bad. That was a good buzz. I think that was probably one of the most positive drinking experiences I've had in my life. I'm still trying to find the right ratio because I've done too much before. I did black out and wake up and throw up once. So I knew the amount that I drank that night was too much. And then I've had days where I drank what I thought was a lot and it barely did anything to me at all. Like two big bottles of Smirnoff Green Apple. I downed them very quickly. And then I moderated a debate and was barely inebriated at all. So it's really it takes a lot to do me in.
Sounds like it. I wouldn't know because I don't drink.
Yeah, you've never drank before.
I have once, but it was a one time only.
You've definitely not admitted to drinking more than once on the podcast. That's never happened before.
Okay, it's like one major time, but any other time was nothing.
I feel like you talked about am I crazy? Are you I don't know if you're trying to gaslight me. Did you I feel like you talked about drinking on Largest Issue.
Probably not.
Okay.
I don't think because I didn't like alcohol then, so I would have had no reason to drink then. I don't even like it now, but that was the one time thing, so it happens. Hell freezes over, ladies and gentlemen.
Hell freezes over. That's
Yeah,
right.
hell's frozen over as of late. Fucking lots of weird things have happened recently. Fucking I don't even know. When I came back to work after being gone for like the 2 weeks that I quit for, that was what I told them. They asked me why I came back. I said that hell froze over, and they bought it. They were okay with that.
They were like, "Yep, that sounds like a reason."
Yep, that sounds like a great reason to come back. We believe that with all of our. Yeah. I'm like, okay. Fuck. I'm hoping I get taken off of 11/11 Sundays soon.
Yeah, that would be good.
It would be nice. I've had managers that come in for the morning for the weekend and then they have to come back late at night so they can do inventory and make sure they have what they have or just keep an idea of what's selling the most. And I've now had two managers come up to me and they're like, I seen you here this morning and I was working at 12 o'clock. Why are you still here? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I was scheduled to be here. And they were like, oh, you poor thing. But to be fair, I'm only working 3 days a week, so it's okay, I guess.
Oh yeah, well I guess if you're only working 3 days a week, they're trying to like pack your hours in. That makes sense.
Well, if I would be okay with working 3 8-hour shifts, but that's not what they're doing. They are scheduling me to work
Wait, are you
fucking.
working? Are you only working 24 hours total, but it's split stupidly?
I'm working, yeah, about 24. I'm working 25 hours a week, and
Okay, I
it's
thought they were
split
like
in
I
a
thought you were
full
trying to
way.
like maybe fit in more, like you were like pushing 30, and they were
No,
just
I'd
breaking
be
up
okay
shifts.
with that. But they don't want to schedule me 11 3 days a week. They want to schedule me 4 to 11, 3 to 11, and then I think 11 to 7. They just haven't. I don't know what their motives are. And it's not like I'm asking for these shifts anymore. I asked for it one day. One day I asked for it. And then they've just, for the last month, every Sunday's been 11 to 11. Maybe one of
Uh,
these days I'll be free from my burden.
Someday I can be free, but for now, I am still in the prison.
The prison that is waking up at 10 in the morning, getting ready for work, being there from 11 in the morning to 11 p.m. at night, and having to put in a crazy amount of effort into my job because I'm the best person there. That's not true. I'm like top 3 at best. But 3 is better than 0.
It's
And
true.
last week they didn't even need me in the morning. They just scheduled me to work in the morning, and then they scheduled someone else, and they had like 5 people in the morning, and I just wanted to not come in, but they were like, "Yeah, no, we need you." I'm like, "Damn, you guys suck." So the weekend morning shift got a nice few handful of words said to them.
Oh boy, workplace drama. You gotta love it.
Yeah, you gotta love it. Apparently, my managers like to talk a lot, so I know about a lot of the things that I shouldn't be knowing about. Like, my coworker who had some health concerns, I guess is the way to put it, and she could not handle those health concerns, so she had to go to a doctor and fix the problems she was having, if you are picking up what I am putting down.
Yes.
Yes, he has no clue.
Problems.
Problems. Things that she had choices over because she lives in Michigan.
What the fuck?
We're talking about abortion here.
You know, I actually, you're not gonna believe me, but that did cross my mind, but I didn't want to say it if I was wrong.
One other time when I say choices that she could have made because she lives in
That was when I
Michigan.
got it. That was when I was like, is he talking about an abortion? And then you confirmed it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, shout out Michigan's governor, Gretchen Whitmer.
I thought you
Love
were
her to
about to say
death.
shout out abortions. Yo, shout out to abortions.
Ragu services, where today's infants are
Today's
tomorrow's
loss is
ragu.
yesterday's loss is today's sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Getting, I don't even like ragu sauce.
it's
I'm
it's made out of aborted babies. Apparently, it's probably not too good.
I don't like a lot of things. I had a coworker speak to me because this is like his first time like speaking to like a white guy that isn't trying to be black.
I'm
And
sorry. What? It's
okay,
you're the only
this
white
is
man this person's ever spoken to that was not trying to sound like a black man. Is that what you're telling me?
yes.
Okay, sure.
Um,
Welcome to Michigan, I guess.
yeah, because that's what a lot of guys do. Because usually our cultures don't mix. We usually, we avoid one another, not on purpose, but you can tell when someone is not comfortable around a person that they're not used to. My coworker, one of my coworkers, who's also a white guy, does not like asking everyone questions because he does not fit in with all of us, and I'm the closest that he fits into because our skin tone is the same color. So he asks me all the questions, and I have to answer them.
Us white boys gotta stick together.
He had a moment the other day. He asked me if he could go on break instead of asking the manager. And I was just like, yeah, sure, dude, go. And she's like, why the fuck didn't you ask me? And I'm like, calm down. You were going to tell him the same thing either way. I know how to send people on breaks, and I know how to send people home early if we don't need them. Despite what my managers do or don't believe.
You're just sending people home.
I did. I sent a guy
Get
home
outta
the other
here.
day. I think last week. He was supposed to stay until 7. I'm like, all right, dude. Get the fuck on out of here. We don't need you. You can go. And he's like, what? I'm like, you can go. And he's like, okay. And then he asked a manager, and the manager was like, no. And I'm like, don't listen to him. Go ask Nautica and tell her that we have 7 people. And he's like, okay. And Nautica sent him home. Fucked my manager think he was doing, trying to not let me do what I wanted to do.
Yeah, frankly, a foolish move.
Yeah.
You should just let Andrew run the company. To be honest, you should just let Andrew be the CEO of Culver's. I think that would really. I
Yeah, let
think
me
that
just
would be the
run this
best
bitch into the
course.
ground. It'd be terrible. The place would be burned down within a week.
I'm having those thoughts again, where I'm just like, what if I just got a new job?
It would probably suck.
It probably would, and it would probably pay less too. So,
It might not pay less unless you choose like a shitty career.
well, the thing is, like, I don't know where I would go besides like very entry level shit. Like,
Just stay in the IT world.
I, I don't. I'm not a good IT guy. It works for
You don't
Dial
have to
America.
be.
It works for Dial America because every computer they have is the exact same fucking computer, and all I had to do was memorize how to perform a few simple tasks, and that kind of gets me through it. But in reality, I have like no IT knowledge, and if my environment changed as an IT man, it would like be a whole new ball game, and it would be the chance of failure would be pretty high, I think.
They could train you how to do it. Problem solved.
That's
They're
true. They're gonna hire a guy who technically has years of experience, and expect him to kind of know what he's doing, and I'm gonna be completely stupid.
well, yeah, but you have years of experience.
That's true.
That's how you look at it. I have years of experience doing this certain activity. I could probably do it if you train me how to do it.
I think it's just like the weird like depression demons, and I kind of need to ignore them for my own like
Sanity.
financial benefit.
That
Um,
also.
but I'm kind of like, what if I just got a different job? Like, even if it was like something completely shitty and entry level that a 16-year-old would get. Like, even if I went and worked at fucking McDonald's, it would just be like a different life experience from what I've been doing for these past few years that's slowly driving me insane because of how samey everything is.
Well, yeah, but then you'd have to work at fucking McDonald's
That's true,
for
and I'm very spoiled by how reasonable the scheduling is at my place of business, whereas I've heard from you and others that fast food places will just schedule you whenever the fuck they want and not care about your life.
you can
So
be upfront and be like, "Hey, man, I'm not gonna do these hours."
Well, Andrew, if what you told me was true and not a pathological lie, you tried to do that and it didn't work. So I don't know why you're saying this right
Well, yeah,
now.
but I tried again. I have Monday through Friday off, or Monday through Thursday off now. Although I
Okay.
might have to put Tuesday back on the schedule per my coworker's requests. Because I came into yesterday, Friday, and the guy was like, "Why the fuck weren't you here throughout the week? Who the fuck do you think you are?" And I'm like, "Dude, calm down." He's like, "It was terrible." And I'm like, "I could put Tuesday back on the schedule, but that's a strong maybe." And he's like, "Okay, all right."
Please, please rescue us, Andrew. We need you.
That was the whole thing when I came back. They were like, because I was not supposed to get my job back. The manager talked to me, and she was like, "We'll speak, and we'll see what we can do, and I'll call you again, and we'll go from there." And I'm like, "All right, whatever." She doesn't call me the next day, so I'm like, "Damn, I guess they don't need me." She messages me to call her when I can, and I do, and she's like, "They're begging for you back. What time, what day do you want to come back?" And I'm like, "Can I come back Friday?" And she was like, "Yep. Whenever you find the time to come in, come in." And I'm like, "All right, I'll be there at like
Any
5:30."
day. Please, whatever you can spare, Andrew.
Yep, and I did. Although my name was barely in the system anymore, they had to change. I had to change my PIN just so I could clock in. But after that, I was back in the kitchen once again, cooking up some bullshit.
Picking up them Culver's burgers, baby. Ruining
Um,
300 fish strips or whatever it was that you did.
it was 1,000. You were close.
Oh, fuck me.
Generating a net profit of $5,000 an hour. We are open for 12 hours. That is $60,000 in a day.
Oh boy.
Some bullshit.
God, I'm fucking goofy today.
Sometimes I'm surprised that they rehired me because I've stolen so much food that it is probably on a federal level case at this point.
They're this is just a psyop. They're just waiting for you to steal it. That it's like how stores won't catch like repeat shoplifters. They'll wait for them to steal $1,000 worth of stuff and then get them on grand theft. That's what they're doing to you. They're just waiting for you to rack it up to 1,000 to get you
All
on
right.
grand theft.
All right. So I've worked a lot. Let's say I worked like probably like 200 days not 200. Let's say like 180 days. I've definitely, if I worked 180 days, there's a good chance that the amount of food that I've stolen is over $1,000 at this point.
Should be you be admitting this on air?
Okay. Case in point, we get free food. We get one meal a day.
Oh, but you eat more than that, you're saying. It's like
I
it's like when you go to the Halloween Bowl and it says take one and you take more than one.
Okay. It's not that I take more than what I should, it's that I just don't get it rung up. So like we're supposed to get it rung up even though it's free, and I don't.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah,
So you're just like you're not doing the clerical work, but you're not eating more than your share
usually.
usually.
All
Maybe
right.
a couple extra fries slip into the bag
All
here and
right.
there, you know.
The other day, we spoke to my coworker. I came in at 5:30 that day. I in his words, I had 4 buffalo tenders, 2 pieces of pizza, a burger, a bunch of fucking fries, a bunch of fucking cheese curds, a pretzel bite, and a handful of strips of bacon.
How are the Culver's cheese curds?
Um, Pretty good. They're hard. They're
Mm.
not squishy, and that's what I mean by that. Um,
Wait, they're hard? Don't you kind of want them to be squishy?
Um, the way that we fry them, at least for the time we do, they're like, um, they're crunchy, I guess is the way to put it. They're not hard, but like,
I see what you're saying. Okay.
yeah, it's like a cheese stick. It's just a cheese stick, but small.
It's
It's not
as
my
hard.
favorite
The
side.
cheese is as hard as a cheese stick is.
No, not the cheese. The
Oh,
cheese is
okay.
soft, but the outer shell is like cheese stick levels of crunch.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's great.
Wait, a cheese stick level of crunch, Andrew, I believe would be zero crunch. I don't think a cheese stick
I don't know
crunches.
how to describe it, man.
Cheese sticks, they famously are a soft item that you just bite right through. There's no crunch going on.
I just work here, man. I don't know how to describe it. I flip burgers and drop things into the fryer.
I believe I understand what you're trying. I believe what you're trying to say is like the amount of bite resistance is similar to that of a
Yeah,
cheese stick.
yeah, crunch.
Well, usually when people say crunch, they're kind of implying like crunchy, like when
Well, yeah, but not me because I'm
yeah.
autistic and I don't like how crunchy things work.
You
My
just don't like
work,
crunchy things.
yeah, when I make bacon, my bacon isn't crunchy.
Do you just not like chips?
Not really.
Do you not like your fries crunchy?
I don't like fries.
Okay. I
M- Me
you
and
never cease to amaze me.
my girlfriend and I, we had this discussion the other day, and we were talking about McDonald's, and we were talking about our regular orders. And I told her that I have not ordered McDonald's fries in probably a year. Probably 2 years at this point.
That's a travesty.
I don't like them.
Uncultured.
It's like that new McDonald's sauce. That shit tastes like ass.
I've not had the McDonald's sauce. I have ordered McNuggets since they introduced the McDonald's sauce. I decided to get the buffalo instead. I guess from what you're telling me, that was a good idea.
Yes, their fucking sauce tastes like shit. It's terrible.
God, I
I,
love nuggets.
I
No,
don't. They taste like shit also.
no, it's not true.
It is true. They have the worst nuggets out of any fast food place.
Not can't be. Can
It is. They
can
just
be
have the
right.
best sauce. McDonald's fooled me into thinking that I liked sweet and sour sauce.
They gaslighted you.
Yes. Although I guess it means that I now like honey mustard a lot. I don't like honey, nor do I like mustard. I don't know why I like honey mustard.
Well, sometimes, you mix two things together, it's a new thing.
I mean, I guess, but like, I don't know.
I mean, it's basically just honey is often just used as like a substitute for sugar. So like it's essentially just like sugary mustard.
I guess. I don't know.
Honey's like unique taste profile is pretty easily masked. Like I don't think honey mustard really gives honey. I think honey is more of a sugar substitute. So it's
Mm.
not weird that you like it. I don't think because I don't think it shares a taste profile with honey really, or mustard because it's so sweet. It's a new compound has been created. I've always been a big honey mustard fan. It's kind of taken a back seat in my later years for various hot sauces. I've become a spice lord in my maturity. But honey mustard is pretty good.
So when does that become ranch?
I have admitted that I like ranch now, but I still don't like it much. I don't really get it most of the time.
Oh my god, are you even a white person?
I guess not. I don't like mayonnaise either, so I'm
Put your
really
culture in the bag.
all
You've
my
got to
white
return
friends
it.
are gone.
You're turning into
I have to
fucking.
return my whiteness. They have to drain it out of me.
Yeah, your white card's being revoked.
Is white all color or is white lack of color?
Um,
I know the black and white are each one of those things, but I don't remember which is which.
I assume white is supposed to be all color.
That could be.
I would assume, but I'm not a doctor.
I ain't no color doctor.
I'm not a doctor. I just am me. I'm not a doctor, but right now I might pretend to be.
Dr. Feelgood, you know what I'm saying, dog?
My name is Doctor, not a doctor.
My name is Doctor.
I got my medical license in Philadelphia, where all doctors get licensed. I passed the bar.
This is like I'm thinking of you're giving me ideas for a parody rap song right now
Oh my god.
about a doctor who, like, the premise of it is that it's a doctor and he is an accredited doctor, but everything about him makes it sound like he's not. Like his name is Doctor, not a doctor. He got his medical degree from a university called Not an Accredited Medical University.
Oh my god. Gotta be one funny university name, like you gotta get it from like Kinky University.
Kinky University.
Or Batman University. I'd go
Maybe
to
you're right.
Batman Uni.
I'm kind of maybe I'm tunnel visioning my mind in all the things having to directly refer to him not being a doctor. But I guess also if you got your medical degree from Batman University, that would be equally as non-credible. So,
What about Ball State?
Ball State?
Dude, Ball State has been sending me emails since 2019.
Is Ball State a real college?
It is a real college.
That's really funny.
Ball State has been trying to get me to go to their school for the last 5 fucking years.
Is that a Michigan college?
I don't think so.
What the fuck is okay? Ball State. Let me
It's in
spend.
Indiana.
Oh, all right, guys. I'm starting a GoFundMe to go to Ball State University.
Do you even have the GPA to get in a Ball State?
Probably not. I don't even know what my GPA is. I don't even know if it's high enough to have graduated. They handed me a diploma, but I
It was
still haven't
probably
seen the
just
number.
barely high enough.
I wonder if I could still log into my student portal, or if they would have
Probably
deleted that
not.
account by now.
With a GPA of 3.57, Ball State requires you to average in your high school class. You'll need a mix of A's and B's and very few C's.
Okay, I didn't know Ball State was such a prestigious organization. I figured if they were like spam emailing you trying to get you a smart boy to go to their college, they were like a shitty college that just wanted better people. Please, please, Andrew, come to our college. We need to get our grade point average up.
I don't even have that good of. I have a pretty good. I say I don't have a good GPA, but then I remember like I'm top 30 in my school at this point for GPA. So I guess I do have a good GPA.
College is such an intimidating prospect.
It's not that bad.
We need to get fucking Bernie in there so it can be free. Then I'll just go.
I don't think Bernie is able to, or I don't think he's going to become president anytime soon.
Or
I think the Bernie Sanders
somebody
train
who
is
wants to
over.
make college free. Make college free and I'll do it.
Anyone that isn't the two old geezers.
Yeah, well, unfortunately that's not what's gonna happen. I'm so pissed that Biden's running again. And like the idea
And that
idea that
Biden's running again.
the idea that he has is the exact opposite idea that I have, where he was unsure if he was going to run again, and then he said he was running again because Trump is running again. Because in his mind, I guess he's the one who has to defeat Trump because he did it the first time or whatever. But I would posit that after 4 years of convincing everybody you are literally have Alzheimer's, uh, and with terrible approval rate, that perhaps leaving yourself in the running is actually a good way to get Trump to win. Actually, and maybe you should have just stepped down and let other people run and do a primary.
Yeah, no, there's no hope for this country. Either way, the
Biden was
president
like
approval just
Biden was
keeps
like the
getting
only
lower and lower.
he was the only president in decades to he was the only sitting president in decades to ever lose a primary anywhere. It was just like one little like district or whatever, but it's like a historical because it's like the first time in decades that that's happened that a sitting president has lost the primary to another candidate in their party anywhere. There was one little place that came out to vote and said, you know what, we don't like Biden, we like this other guy. I get to go to the fucking T-Mobile store today. That's gonna be fun.
Why?
To, in theory, get a free phone, because I have an old, outdated SIM card, that is on a network that they're about to discontinue.
Mm.
And they sent out letters saying they would give people free phones to remedy this. But I keep hearing that they're trying to snake their way out of that. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen when we go there. I definitely cannot afford to buy a phone right now. So hopefully they do not try to snake me.
You're gonna buy one of them $30 shitty Android phones.
I actually did that recently. They do not sell $30 Android phones anywhere anymore, unfortunately. But I think the one I bought was like
Am I that
80.
out of touch now?
Yeah. There were $30 Android phones maybe a long time ago, but now they're gonna run you for like 80, 100 at least. I bought the cheapest available phone on Amazon.com recently, fairly recently, because I did not want to bother going to the T-Mobile store and dealing with their bullshit. So instead of just going to get the free phone, which was on the table at that time, I decided to bring my SIM card out to the end of its life and just buy this shitty, cheap Amazon phone. And it's so bad, Andrew. It's so bad. It just sometimes you're using it and the screen just goes black. And you just have to like turn it off and on a bunch until it works again. Sometimes you just have to hard restart it by holding the power button until it just restarts. Uh, and it
Oh my
freezes,
god.
it lags. Like I said, sometimes I will try to order an Uber and not be successful because it crashes and freezes so many times that it's just not going to happen. I was late to work because I was trying to book an Uber on my phone, and I spent 25 minutes on it before
Oh
giving up
my.
and before giving up and booking it on my iPad, which took 2 minutes.
I found one phone from a brand that I find reputable for $40, a Motorola phone.
Is that a smartphone? Even? Or is it
Yeah, it
just
is.
fucking? Is it fucking a
Yeah,
Nokia?
it's a smartphone. I used to use a Motorola as an alarm clock. So I love Motorola.
Pretty
Just
sure one of the old
I would
broken
never use
phones
their phone
in
again.
one of the old broken phones in my drawers here, I believe, is a Motorola that never actually functioned as a phone when I had it. It was a friend of mine's, and he got a new phone, so he gave it to me, and I just like used it for stuff.
So, what point do you hash out the money for the cheapest iPhone available?
I'm not getting a fucking iPhone. The cheapest iPhone available is like $500. For the amount of money I would spend on the cheapest iPhone available, I could buy a
Okay,
fucking
and
PS5.
there's a $240. It's $280 for a 12. $230 for an 11 that is still getting updates. An iPhone SE is $140.
Is it just SE or 11 SE? I don't
It's
think you
just
want
SE,
the
so
you don't
it's
want the iPhone 1 SE.
no, it's the second generation version. I think that was the one. It does look a little old, so I probably wouldn't go for it. I would go for the 11 or the 12, but that's just me.
Fucking iPhone. There are good Android phones. If I'm gonna chill out money for a phone, it's not gonna be a fucking iPhone. It's gonna be for like a nice Samsung Galaxy because Android is better. It just so
Android's
happens that
better.
when I,
He just
it
doesn't
just
have
so
any good reasons
happens
for it to be better.
it just so happens that when I buy phones, I'm a cheap fuck. So the Android phones that I'm buying are the cheapest ones available on the market, and Android just happens to allow for cheaper hardware to be manufactured than Apple. But the good Android phones that are manufactured with equal specs to those iPhones are great.
Sure. Look, I'm just saying,
At the end of the day,
Apple's
they're all
never
the
had a
fucking
phone that's
same.
gonna
Okay,
blow
they're
up
all
in your
fucking
ear.
phones. They're all fucking phones. You go to the phone, you get a phone, you fucking make phone calls and texts, you download apps, you watch your fucking TikTok. It's all the same. It's all the fucking same. It doesn't matter. The only thing,
But
there's
if you
only
live in Europe,
little,
you should really invest in an iPhone. Because Europe actually has good iPhones.
just little
They have side
fucking
loading and shit.
little fucking differences. Like if you want to, an iPhone's a fucking vanity plate. That's what an iPhone is. It's a fucking vanity plate.
The
It
fuck is a
doesn't
vanity
matter.
plate?
You, but like well, a vanity plate is like a thing on a car. I'm using that wrong, but like a vanity plate is in like you just have. It's just for vanity. Like you could get a phone with the same functionality for cheaper if it was an Android phone. But having an iPhone just gives you
It's just
clout
shittier.
because that's the society that we've created. Where if you just have, you're cool if you have an iPhone. So it's just to
I disagree.
fucking
I think if
it's
you make
just
content,
the
you should
front.
100% invest in an iPhone.
They have Androids with just as
I
good a
think if you
cameras.
okay, see the issue, it isn't the camera. It's the reason that iPhone cameras are considered to be better is because that most apps are scaled to adapt to the iPhone camera because it's the biggest regular phone. As with Android phone, it's your camera can't be like it's a bunch of different fucking cameras. They're not all the same. They're different amounts of cameras, so you can't optimize the camera for a specific app without wasting time. With iPhones, it's one camera type because it's one system. It's one manufacturer of a phone. So you can optimize their camera very well for apps.
That's fair. Speaking of cameras, real
There are
quick, I
very
wanted
few
to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
um that's why a lot of TikTokers have iPhones because it's the most optimized. So it's better to just use an iPhone than whatever Android.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Here's a story of maybe stupid Riley. Maybe it's just complete arslurdation. But maybe I'm valid. Who knows? We'll see what people think. We'll see what you think. I once was trying to order alcohol on my iPad, and I had to take a picture of
Uh-huh.
my ID in order to make that happen. And the way the back camera of the iPad is angled, I just could not fucking figure it out to aim it properly. I was sitting there for an hour just fucking like shifting my iPad every which way, trying to aim this fucking camera because it was like inverted and shit. So I'm just like, I'm wobbling my iPad around, trying to fucking align it so I can take this picture of the fucking ID. And I think I eventually pulled it off, but it took me way longer than it should have because I could not figure out how to fucking angle the back iPad camera.
Yeah, that's not your best moment in the world.
I was not already
Not
drunk
something I would publicly admit.
before somebody makes a silly little joke.
That man was as sober as a whistle,
I may have been
but
stoned.
it's okay. Yeah, but that's just everyday regular life for you.
That's true.
Exactly.
I do like most days I like wake and bake. Like I'm pretty consistently high a lot of the time.
That's insane. You don't take a break?
Sometimes I do, but I will go
Sometimes
several days.
is
I will go several days smoking from the morning to the night before I do. Sometimes I'll like know I have a podcast coming, and I just won't smoke that day. Because like I've pretty much mastered the art of high podcasting, but I know I'm a little bit more witty and with it if I'm not. So like sometimes I'll be like, okay, I kind of want to try to bring my A game to this show, so I'll stop for today. And I did that pretty recently, and then we didn't do the show that night, so I was pretty mad about that. starting to feel the tired, starting to feel the 5 hours of sleep that I got.
I'm so used to running on 5 hours of sleep. I think if I next week I have to reset it. I've spoken to my girlfriend about it, and we're talking about me just not drinking any caffeine for a week and seeing how much it can affect my body again. Because it's terrible right now. Again, which is what I was trying to prevent at the beginning of this year. But
I'm
it
so
is
glad that
so hard to sleep at night.
I've mostly completely kicked my energy drink addiction. Once in a very blue moon, I might crack one open, but I used to be dependent on those fuckers, and I kind of hard broke off from that, and I'm glad that I did.
It's a struggle. I think when I did it last, I slept for like 17 hours for like every day for a week. I spent most of my Florida trip sleeping.
Oh yeah, you did come to Florida
But
recently. I forgot about
on a
that.
side note, yeah. I keep getting notifications about Overwatch because I play a lot of Overwatch. And someone online is saying that they should abandon Overwatch 2, improve the features from Overwatch 1, which I do think they should bring back at least one or two more features. I do miss the looking for a group feature. I don't think Overwatch should go back to 6v6. As much as one of my favorite characters to play was only good in the 6v6 meta, I kind of like it as a 5v5.
I'm still so.
But
If they were gonna change the game so fundamentally, why disable the first one? Just keep it up. Just have that server
well, it's
there.
the same game still.
Or at least let you play it offline. No, but
It's the exact same game.
it's still built off the same code, but it's fundamentally different. The features are different. The matches
One
have
person.
less people in them. It's a different ball game. Like that shit. It doesn't sound big when you just talk about it in broad strokes, but that makes the strategic aspect completely fucking different. If there's a whole member absent from the team that was there before, it's a whole different tactical ball game.
It does.
Go ahead.
People have been saying that they want 6v6 back for years. I don't think Blizzard should bring 6v6 back. I think
feel
the
like
game
it should be a mode.
is much better in a 5v5 state.
If you're gonna delete Overwatch, the first one, at least make 6v6 a mode that you can do in Overwatch 2.
They've done that for everything else.
Make
there's a whole
play.
there's a type of game mode because of
standard competitive play can be 5v5, and then just have a 6v6 mode for fun. For the good time.
So Overwatch has that for certain. There's a game mode. There were three major game modes in Overwatch 1. There was not Flashpoint. There was Payload. There was Hybrid, and there was 2CP. 2CP being 2 capture points. Hybrid, you capture a point and then you move the payload. And then Payload, you just move a payload. In Overwatch 2, they removed 2CP, and there was such an uproar in 2 weeks' time that they brought it back, and it's in the game right now. Not in competitive and not in quick play, but every once in a while they have a game mode that they release, and it's 2CP, and almost no one plays it because no one liked 2 CP. Overwatch 2 has given people battered wife syndrome. We all have it. We all don't like, we hated 6v6, but we're gonna ask for 6v6 back.
I have a question. I don't know if you know the answer. I guess you probably do, because this
What
would
is
have
it?
applied to you. Overwatch 1 was never free to play, right? That was when Overwatch 2 came out, they did that.
No.
So
Yeah, that was also another reason that Overwatch 2 was so monumental.
yeah, because it's free to play. But my question, because I just thought about this, and if the answer is no, I'm going to be frustrated. I'm going to assume it's yes. Do you get stuff if you bought Overwatch? Like once you switch to Overwatch 2, once they delete that game that you bought, Overwatch, do you get stuff?
Okay, so the compensation for if you had bought Overwatch 1 is that you would get every one of the new characters for free. So, Soldierin, Junker Queen, there was and Kiriko. You would get those 3 characters for free, and you would keep all the skins from the original characters that you had. So all your cosmetics that you had in Overwatch 1, you still have in Overwatch 2.
Okay, that's cool at least.
But yeah.
I want to get that Genji skin. It kind of looks like a Power Ranger.
Hold on. I think I know what skin you're talking about, and I think I have it. I think I have this skin. I don't know off the top of my. I guess I could open Overwatch right now because it's not like I'm gonna go into a game and fucking crash my computer. So I guess I
still think we
can
should.
tell you
I
if I
still think
have
we
it if
should
you give me a
do.
second.
I still think we should do like a baby's first Overwatch 2 stream where I just get my shit rocked in Overwatch 2
I'd
for an hour
consider
and
it.
you laugh about it. I guess it would bring down your competitive average or whatever, but for the content, Andrew, for the content.
Well, we're not gonna play competitive. We're not playing competitive. I'll play quick play with you.
We're not gonna play fucking ranked. No.
I guess so. Yeah, you need like 10 hours of the game just to even unlock ranked.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can't just queue up into ranked whenever you feel like. Alright, I guess I can't log into fucking Overwatch because Blizzard is so fucking terrible. I hate the fucking option of keep me logged in and then it doesn't keep you logged in. I press it, remember me, or keep me logged in. Don't forget my password. And then it forgets the password. And I have to re-enter it. And then I gotta go through 2-factor authentication just to log into whatever I want to do for 30 seconds.
Rough.
Fuck it, assume I have the Power Ranger skin, the green one.
But yeah, so Overwatch 2, we gotta do that. I'm probably just gonna get destroyed the entire time because I'm gonna be playing with you, and it's gonna skill-based match.
It's okay. Well, it's different because now I'm playing on PC now, and PC lobbies are shit. Or well, they're not shit, but I'm in beginner PC lobbies.
Ooh, okay.
Because I am a beginner in PC.
Is it cross-plat? Overwatch 2?
Yeah, there's cross-platform.
Okay, because I'd be playing on a PlayStation.
Yeah.
So
almost all games at this point. Almost every game at this point is cross-platform.
Overwatch 2 is back-gen, right? You can get it on PS4.
Yeah, of course you can get it on PS4. That's where it came out on.
I didn't remember what point we were at when Overwatch 2
Well, I guess Overwatch 1 did. Well, it's just Overwatch 1, just with a 2 slapped onto it, and 1 person and 2 people removed from the game.
That doesn't mean I don't remember how recently it came out, and that doesn't mean that if they had a new console, they wouldn't just be like, "Get the new console."
I think it. Oh, almost every game has been back-genned.
That's true. That's only stopped being a thing.
I don't know any games. Oh yeah, but
like Spider-Man 2 obviously did not.
I don't know what games.
Sparking Zero's not going to back-gen.
Yeah, I don't even think the Xbox Series X has console exclusives yet. I'm still pretty sure that everything that's been released on it has been released on the Xbox One.
And the PS5 has Spider-Man 2. That's it. And I guess Demon Souls.
Remember, we're halfway through these consoles' lifespans.
That's true. Halfway?
Fucking
I feel like we're more
Sony
than
has
that.
already stated it. Yeah, Sony's already said it. Sony's like, yeah, we're in, at least we're past the half point lifespan of the PlayStation 5,
That's wild.
which is insane.
At this point,
Yeah,
consoles are
because how
nothing.
many
That's
console
the thing.
exclusives are
Like,
there?
at this point, consoles are just like we lived in an era in our youth where like new consoles would drop and that would be a big deal technologically. And we've kind of left that. Like you can polish it as much as you want. You can make it look prettier, you can make the frame rate higher, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be as visible of a change as it used to be. Like the shift between the
Yeah.
PS2 and PS3 was fucking monumental, a whole new world. The shift between the PS4 and PS5, it's a little prettier. You know, it's not as special anymore.
A little. Yeah.
Which is why I was considering going PC Master Race, but I don't want to spend as much money as that would require. So I think I'm gonna cave and just buy a PS5. I need that
Just
Sparking
save
Zero,
up like a
Andrew.
little bit more. My $1,000 computer, my $1,000 computer can run Overwatch at 240 frames a second.
I guess that's not too
That's
bad.
like twice the price and double the ability to play the game at the highest. Now, be fair, you issue that I'm having with the memory, but assume that's fixable.
I woke up this morning. This is a hashtag weird gross story. I don't know where this came from. Whether it was from my house or from the bar or from the Uber I took home from the bar. I hope it wasn't that because that'd be weird. But I woke up this morning and there were bugs all over my feet and lower leg, like little ants. I don't know where they
That's
came from.
concerning.
I didn't even notice them at first. I didn't even feel them there until I sat down and
That's
I looked down and I was like, wait a minute, what are these little black spots on my feet?
that's insane.
Has that ever happened to you?
You heard it here first, folks. Riley is into bug play.
I'm
No,
not
that's
into
never
bug.
happened to me.
You
Although
never
I
had
have
bugs on you?
no.
Bugs on your feet and lower leg?
If a bug lands on me, I will feel it and I will snap it off of me. Dude,
Well, these aren't
I don't know if
landing
you've noticed.
bugs. These are very tiny little leg bugs. They're just walking around. You barely feel that it's
I
happening.
I have hypersensitive legs. So if
I've also had
something
a I've had
barely
a
touches
cockroach
my legs,
crawl
I
on
will
my leg
scream.
at night. That's happened
I've
before.
never even seen a cockroach.
Sometimes I will like it was so like gross because like I sometimes I'll just like uh, for lack of a better term hallucinate. Like it'll feel like something crawled across my leg and I'll kind of kick at it, but it won't be real. And one time it was real and that was gross.
I think that's called schizophrenia.
Cuz I'm almost it's not schizophrenic. It's not even like I think there's something there really. It's just like a little weird feeling in my leg. And my kind of natural response is to kick at it as if there was a bug there. But that time there was a bug there and it squished and it was gross. It's always wild when you squish a bug and there's blood.
I mean, kinda.
Because
Yeah,
like you
but
never,
I
most
don't know.
times you
I don't
squish a
squish
blood.
bugs.
I don't like go out of my way to squish bugs, but like it's happened. And like
I go
usually
out of
you
my
squish
way
them
to
in
put them out of wherever I am.
Usually you squish them and there's no blood. But then like every once in a while, for whatever reason, one of them will have blood, and it's always like, ugh, where'd this fucking blood come from? This guy just had more iron in his diet than the other bugs, I guess. I don't know.
Hmm.
I've when I was young. This is probably one of the crowning achievements I've ever achieved. Just a hand-eye coordination feat. I actually caught a fly in between two fingers. There was a fly flying around me, and it wouldn't go away. And I perfectly caught it in between two of my fingers. I was like 12 or something. I don't remember. It was a great moment. I was very proud of myself. Because those little fuckers, they'll get away from you. It's very hard to swat those little flies. They'll evade your attacks. But I had the perfect finger placement. Got his ass. Are you like Demigloom about bugs? It sounds like you're getting uncomfortable as I describe this time I killed a fly.
Yes, I am Demigloom-esque about bugs.
Has that always been the case?
I've
I feel
taken
like
the
you used
bug
to rag
pill.
on her. You taken the bug pill?
I ragged on her because I think it's dumb, but I'm the exact same way. I don't kill bugs. I usually just kind of let them free. I had a fly trapped in my room for 6 months that I did not kill, but I kept hearing it buzz for 6 months straight.
You see, I do you one better. I don't bother.
That was annoying.
I don't move it or kill it usually. I just kind of let it be there.
Yeah. I
Kinda
just let it go on
now.
with its life until it died of natural causes.
Unless it touches me, because then out of impulse it kind of just happens. If there's a bug on me, it's just kind of reflex.
Yeah.
Like my body is trained to respond to a small creature crawling on it. Because what if that's a spider, bro? What if that's a brown recluse? Then I'm fucked.
What's a spider gonna do to you?
Well, if it's a brown recluse, it'll poison you and kill you.
Kill you. That's what a spider could do.
Yes. Have you ever had a spider crawl on you? I've had that
Okay.
happen exactly once, and it was freaky.
Yeah. I've had it happen a few. I kind of let spiders crawl on me.
Well, with that revelation, folks, let's just let you sit on that one and call this the end of the show. Andrew, where can our listeners find you besides in the pits
What? What's
of
wrong
spiders?
with me letting spiders crawl on me?
Where can they find you besides amongst the fucking spiders?
You can find me here for now. Big Guy Little Guy is my number one source of where I put content out, which is on hold still, but we'll be back soon. Hopefully by next week. If we're not back by next week, assume I'm dead.
Assume Andrew's dead, yeah.
Oh, and Twitter, I guess. NGEL from Hell Zero. I tweet every once in a while.
Well,
where can they find you, Riley?
linktr.ee/Riley Cinematic Universe for all your Riley needs. So many podcasts, The Issue Crew, Detour Ahead, all sorts of productions that you can listen to or watch depending on the circumstance. Find that all linktr.ee/Riley Cinematic Universe. Thank you, folks, for listening to the Big Guy, Little Guy podcast.
Hopefully we will not be back here next week.
Not this podcast. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.